guys, it's Jessie V. So, I don't really know if I should be telling this story right now. In fact, I waited like 3 years to even bring this up to you guys because I finished college about 3 years ago, and this story takes place when I was in college. I just wanted to wait for enough time to pass that like this person I'm gonna talk about wouldn't get in trouble, even though I don't think he would be able to, because in college obviously I was of age when this happened. I think I was like 21, so I mean it's not like it's a big deal like it would be if you were in elementary school or high school or anything like that, because the two people involved in this, me and the other person, we were both adults. It was just really weird, as you can imagine. So I don't even know where to begin. I don't want to give away any details about which class it was or which college it was, because who knows, I might have gone to more than one. You guys don't really know. But anyways, it was the first day of, I think it was second semester when this happened. So it was a whole new class that I walked into. And right away I saw that the teacher of the class was very young. Probably late 20s, I'm thinking, maybe 30, something like that. And it was like a pretty big change because usually I had like older professors and stuff like that. So having a younger one I thought would be kind of cool because they can relate to us a little bit more, I find. I always think that younger teachers are more down to earth and understanding and kind of like cooler, you know? So I was like ready for this class. I was ready. But one thing I do need to mention is that I was not like attracted to this teacher or anything, just so you know, okay? I did have a boyfriend at the time, and just something has always bothered me about like the whole like crush on teacher thing. I've always found like if you're my teacher, I don't care how old you are, how good looking you are, there's just this thing where I'm like, yeah, you know? Anyways, what I'm gonna be talking about didn't happen right away. We had like a few weeks of class go by and he gave us some really interesting projects. I really loved what we were doing. We had a couple presentations, we handed in stuff. This teacher gave me really good like critique on my work and stuff like that. Like everything just seemed totally normal. I would just not expect what was about to happen. But then one day after class, when I was about to leave with my friend, he kind of came up to me and he was like, Jessica, do you mind if I just talk to you for a second? Jessica's my real name. You guys should probably know that by now, but no one calls me Jessica. Like literally no one in my life calls me Jessica. Only Jess or Jessie. That's all I really respond to. So when he was like Jessica, I was like me? But anyways, he walked me over to his desk and he brought up how he like coordinates events in the city, and they're usually really large events at like bars or clubs and stuff like that. So he just said like, I was just wondering if you wanted to attend this huge club event with me. And at first I was like, oh, like are other students going? Is it like learning experience? Is it like a field trip? Like I was wondering if maybe a whole group of people were going, but he was just asking the people individually or something like that. And because that's not too uncommon. I mean, when you're in college, like sometimes small groups with their teacher can go places, you know? The whole class doesn't have to go like as if you were in elementary school or high school. So he looked at me and he was like, no, just you and me, like we'll just go to this event together. And like me, like not thinking right away, like, oh, this teacher's like asking me out. I was just like, oh, like is it for a project? Like I was trying to wrap my mind around like why he would want me to go to a club with him. And he looked at me again and he's like, no, it's not for school. He was explaining how he thought it would be cool for me to see like what he does for work outside of like being a teacher and stuff like that. And what he was describing was pretty cool. Like I always think like coordinating events and being the head of that is really awesome. But at the same time, I was taken aback because I was like, but why can't we take a group of people? Why just me? So I sort of politely declined and then left the classroom, and he sort of seemed really shocked and almost offended that I didn't say yes and go with him. And I just left awkwardly and he was standing by his desk awkwardly, and the whole thing was, it was a very awkward encounter. And then when I left and went to lunch, I told my friend what just happened and she was like, that doesn't seem normal. Like, he was definitely asking you out, and why? It was just none of us really saw it coming, so that was like really weird. And this is not the end of the story, because after this whole thing happened, things got really, really weird for me at school. He just started treating me differently, which honestly was not fair at all, because I did not ask for this to happen to me, okay? I was just enjoying my time at school, doing my projects, getting my work done, and the teacher had to come up and ruin everything and be like, do you want to go out with me? Like, no. I want you to teach me. He didn't say he didn't want to go out with me. He just like said, do you want to go out to the club with me? Just you and me. Just us two. So one thing that really got me annoyed and got on my nerves quite a bit was there was this one day, I think it was like mid-semester or something. It was a really, really big project that we had to hand in. And so over the weekend, he marked them all and everything. And then come Monday, it was time for him to hand them back. And he did this thing in his class where he would stand at the front and he would call up the person and hold up their project and like show it to everybody. And he wouldn't say the mark they got, but he'd kind of like critique it a little bit. And then the person would walk up and like take it back to their desk. So he was going through all the names and stuff like that. Everything was normal, okay? And then he got to my name, and what he did was he looked at my project, sort of like squinted his eyes, and he was like,
what's that say? Jessica? Huh.
And he sort of looked around the room looking really confused, and in my head I was like, what the heck is he doing? And then he turns to the class and he goes,
do we have a Jessica in this class? Do we have, I don't know, just passed my mind here, but I've never seen a Jessica in this class. Do we have, hello? Jessica? Do we have a Jessica in this class?
Bueller. No, but oh my gosh, when he said that, I literally looked at my friend and I was like, is he for real? I've been in his class for like 2 months and he doesn't know if I exist anymore. So I put up my hand and I was like, hello, I'm right here. And he was like,
oh, you. How could I forget you?
And then he looks at my project, he's like,
yeah, it was good. Come take it.
And I walk up and like grabbed it, and he just looks at me like, it was just the most confusing thing in the entire world. Like all of a sudden he forgot who I was. Even some of my classmates after class, they came up to me and they were like, what the heck was that about? You just forgot you were here? And I was like, yeah, story of my life. People just think I'm invisible. No, it's just things got awkward. Like it didn't affect my marks or anything. Like if it started to affect my project marks, I would have definitely taken it to the dean and stuff like that. But everything was normal, like for my education wise and my mark wise. It was just the awkwardness that I absolutely hated, like so much. And I even started like skipping some classes because I didn't want to go to school and like deal with it. You know what I mean? He wasn't doing anything to me. It was just like this awkward, silency weirdness, you know? But yeah, I just thought that would be interesting to tell you guys. I hope no one from college is watching this. But like I said before, I might have gone to more than one college. You don't really know. So if you think you're my classmate, maybe it's not the teacher that you're thinking about. How about that? How about that one? But in all seriousness, if this ever happens to you in like elementary school or high school, it's definitely something that you need to bring up to your principal and a different teacher or your parents, because when you're not of age, that is actually a very serious offense and you want to bring that to public knowledge very quickly. Even if you're in college and you feel like you're being spoken to inappropriately or obviously touched inappropriately, any of those circumstances, you need to bring it to someone's attention immediately, because that's very unprofessional. And although what my teacher did was unprofessional, it was just a question he asked me, I said no, and we just went on with our lives. So I didn't think, I really need to do anything about it because we were both, almost the same age. But yeah, there are different circumstances that need to be dealt with accordingly. But yeah, I honestly have tons of college stories that I want to tell you guys. I just feel slightly weird about it because I don't want anyone from college to like find out I was talking about them or anything, because 3 years ago wasn't that long ago. Like I feel better talking about high school things and elementary school things because it feels like they were years and years ago. Well, they were. But college is like kind of new still, so I'm gonna tell the stories, I'm just gonna like tell them and be worried someone's gonna see. But anyways, that is the end of today's story time, and I do know that it is now May and I still have this backdrop behind me, but honestly, I love it so much, so I just wanted to drag it out a few more days. But I think nearing the end of the week, I will switch it out for my May background, but I just love this one so much. But the good news is that one of you guys gets to have it, so if you want to enter this backdrop giveaway, I will put the video down below that tells you how to enter, so if you want to get this, then down below is where it is. But anyways, I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!